Hello, today I'm going to give a brief introduction and a run through on Aromanic Yoga and the chakras. Now, to focus first on Luciferianism and the magical aspect utilizes many productive and useful tools and methods used by even perhaps right-hand path orientated systems. Now, to define, Buddhism within Luciferianism does not exist. That's not compatible, because the left-hand path is not about giving yourself into or surrendering to or becoming one with the cosmos or whatever you perceive that to be. Luciferianism is about isolating and strengthening, crystallizing the psyche to better enhance and compel and experience power, wisdom, and the energies within your life and this world to whatever means that you deem appropriate. The techniques utilized in the chakras and utilizing Aromanic Yoga is a left-hand path approach distinctive to the pantheons and the traditions within our path. The first, I'm going to start with saying Aromanic Yoga I first started to develop from my early experience with and formative years with Thelema and very powerful Crowleyan systems of magic, which really defined my journey into the Luciferian concept. The methodology of yoga and the techniques of controlling and attaining control of the mind, body, and spirit were essential, I discovered, including Kundalini, in attaining self-control, discipline, focus, learning to trust and understand your instincts, your true will, and to then utilize that in connecting to each chakra point, in other words, to enhance and focus and energize your magical practice. That I found to be a turning point for me. Now, what I did not want, I did not connect to the Buddhist definitions of the chakras. It really didn't connect too well with me, other than the base descriptions. The base descriptions and correspondences are very useful. However, I wanted to find the similarities, the parallels with the demonic from different systems. So Aromanic or Aromanian Yoga utilized the devas from a part that I found inspiring and magically directive in invoking the archdevas, the 6 or 7 archdevas, depending on your methodology and working with those. That was a very powerful change, and the Yatuki in developing that work and the methodology of sorcery within the devas and Ahriman. This really ignited my initiation, and I presented it in many of my writings, especially in introductory ones, for attaining control of the mind, body, and spirit. So starting with the root chakra, Muladhara, that is attributed to Tapriv and Zarek, 2 devas, and equally so with Taramati, relates to earth, the primal instinct, the root, the dragon, the very base of the Kundalini from which it rises. That's your instincts associated with the color red. In stirring these and invoking these, you sit within a chosen position, any type of technique you wish to use in yoga appropriate to this, and you slowly visualize that fire, that red serpent, the Kundalini rising. And you focus on earth-specific deific mask, deities, attributes, what relates to that, the fiery aspect of, could it be Belial, or with Tapriv and Zarek, two demons of greenery, of the earth, of vine, of poison, the creative and destructive, and then the conquering aspect of the Deva as a war deity of overcoming your obstacles, your shortcomings, etc. And in meditating on that, eventually you'll move up the chakra line prior to magical workings, especially more or less theurgic or higher Luciferian magic workings of attaining some aspect of the deific mask or such. Moving on to the Sacral Chakra, Svadhisthana, which is attributed to Ishma, and it is attributed to water, passion, the flowing desire of who you are, what you wish to achieve, things in that sort. Ishma relates to lycanthropy in the Bronze Age, Mitanni and Indo-Vedic sources. So it's again a more manifestation of a strong will and personality when you have to assert it. Moving that forward into the Manipura, or the solar plexus chakra, relating to Nyan Hetha, or Nakitas, which is the Deva relating to fire, that aspect of the black flame of will to power, and that being a yellow. Keep in mind each of these chakras, if you look at the text, the Greater Bundahishn or Bundahishn text on the Devas describing them, Aishma utilizes each of the Devas, the Archdevas, to go forth and bring the Aromanic will into the world. And that's from a Zoroastrian demonic aspect. And they'll paint it and show it in a destructive, because it's contrary to their ancient religion. The Devas were once Indo-Vedic gods who had destructive and creative and beneficial natures. So that's how Luciferians approach it in a balanced sense. So Aishma becomes the model, the kind of model for which you are manifesting in your temple of mind, body, and spirit, as a Yaddis, a sorcerer, a Luciferian, whatever you want to call it. So each has an aspect of the black flame, and as the Kundalini, as you grow in practice of Aromanic Yoga, and you connect and rise up through those chakras, Kundalini as the divine or demonic feminine, manifesting as Lilith or a similar aspect, that's a part of infernal union. That infernal union of the demonic masculine and demonic feminine to beget in union Baphomet, Cain, or Aishma under the Aromanic concept. But not to rush that. You'll gain an understanding of that as you begin a consistent practice, adapting it, utilizing other yoga techniques that work for you, that you find interesting, and maintaining that discipline of working with that, not just for a short time, but consistently, until it's a habit. Moving through the solar plexus into the heart chakra, Anahata, which is attributed to Indar or Andar, not Andrus, Andar, relating to air, the element air, understanding, acceptance, compassion when you deem it appropriate, sincerity of focus, and is attributed to green. Indra is the war god, the war deva, who is both beneficial and at times can be destructive. And moving that through the throat chakra associated with Savar, and that is a lighter blue color, and it represents, Savar is in the ancient Rig Veda one of the precursors to Aishma, or fury, lycanthropic fury, the fury of warriors. But it's also the word, expression, communication, using magic, the hell of evil speech. And evil speech is just in an antinomian sense, in a left-hand path sense, not a curse or anything like that. It's using words to compel and enhance your reality and your desires. What you say has meaning, how you say it, and that's a hard one to master, because you have to be thoughtful and strategic in how you use language, and you'll make mistakes, lose temper. That goes in with the discipline of control, of knowing when to lose your temper and when not to. The akasha, or ether, the spirit, is attributed to the throat chakra, and the ether is to some extent the astral plane, projecting out, shaping your body of light or body of darkness in an astral projection or a controlled dreaming sense, taking the form you want. Moving through the throat chakra, Savar being the conquering god, very similar to Dionysus in the Greek tradition. We move into the ajna, and this is the third eye. This is the chakra of Lucifer, as the bearer of light, bringer of light, and it's attributed to Akaman, the deva, and it is indigo, and it represents the intuitive perception. And please mind the Akeda, which those are attributed to Greek necromancy, incidentally. So, a little fact of unknown or useless knowledge for some, but Akaman, to perceive and to know, that relates to divination, understanding, a spiritual awareness, and that's intuition, that's the inspiration of what you have to do, and reading signs, understanding. It's a connection within nature, within yourself, and the energies around you, shaping them accordingly. This is a direct connotation and connection with your daemon, your true will, your personal deity. And then moving forward to the top chakra, the crown chakra, Sahasrara, which relates to Ahriman. That is the kind of the abyss, apotheosis in using forbidden knowledge, your refined consciousness, your spirituality of validating your experiences, understanding that that is innately subjective to you, but also impactful in the objective world that you experience, and it's a sense of understanding. So using these chakras and learning to, in a structured way, move up each chakra, you can then master that and move on to Kundalini, representing the enhancement of infernal union of the black flame. So this is just a brief introduction to that. Many of my works have a structure of the chakras relating to Aromanic Yoga. In Dragon and the Two Flames, I utilize the 7 heads of Lotan or Leviathan in a demonic sense, relating to the 7 evil spirits in Syrian Palestinian mythology. All of these can be utilized and adapted. So this is a major part of establishing within the philosophy of Luciferianism a means of self-control, discipline, being able to experience uncomfortable situations and control yourself. You begin to shape and control that fear, that anxiety. And for someone who has experienced that his whole life, this has helped me greatly. And I'm sure it will enhance your initiation of and apotheosis as a Luciferian. Thank you very much.